Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things Lego. Hit the link below to find a store near you.
My name is Drew, or Man Cave Bricks, on Instagram and TikTok, and I've got some Indiana Jones dioramas. So to start off, we've got the Raiders Truck Chase. This is the third iteration of the build, and this one is the most reliable. It hasn't broken down this year yet at all, so that's pretty exciting.
I love the simultaneous movement of the ground and the sky behind it. So tell us a little more kind of the techniques and how you were able to achieve that.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple years ago, I had it so it was just the ground moving, using those like 4 wide tank treads. But the actual ground that I built would fall off all the time and jam it up and break. So I knew that had to change, so I changed that out. And then Lego came out with the NES, and I was like, man, I should add a back. Why haven't I done that yet? So I took the base that I built and kind of just turned it sideways and duplicated it and linked them all together with some motors, and yeah, so now it all runs pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you have to be careful with the elements that you attach to those treads, just to make sure things aren't getting kind of locked up in there?
Yeah, so I switched up the treads. Now I use the larger ones that have the Technic pinholes in them. So I haven't had anything fall off this year. Knock on wood, we're almost done with the show, but anything could happen.
And then what do you have in the kind of casing around that? What is some of the landscaping?
Yeah, so I mean, I had to cover up the mechanism for the back here, so I was just kind of like, oh man, what can I add? So I just made I tore apart my Infinity Gauntlet to build an Ark of the Covenant, and then I added some vines to contrast because it's a lot of tan. Everything I build is a lot of tan, unfortunately, right? So some dark green looked nice in there, I thought. So yeah, it's just kind of to hide all the gross mechanisms there. Yeah,
I always love to see a nice frog technique here as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you got to fit the frogs in. It's mandatory if you're a mock builder, I'd say.
So I love the level of movement there, but we've got even more movement in the next scene. What is this?
Yeah, we do. So this is from The Last Crusade. This is the spinning fireplace when Indy and his dad are trying to escape. They're tied up. They accidentally light the room on fire, and then the only place that's not on fire is the fireplace. They spin around, and there's a bunch of bad guys on the other side. Yeah, so that's what we've got here. This one I'm looking to make some changes on. I definitely need to add lighting, I would say, to the fire. But yeah, this is the second one of these I built, so it's due for an upgrade, I would say.
And we can peek behind the scenes a little bit on this one and see the mechanism.
Sure. Yeah, so at first I had it all driven with the bevel gears, the ones that move at like a 90 degree. But those would like slip and break all the time, so I switched to a chain drive, and that really helped it work more consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got some smoke coming out of the next scene. What is this one?
Yeah, so this is the Temple of Doom. This is my most recent one, so I kind of wanted to take some of the stuff I've experimented with and do something a little newer. So we got the lighting. The reason the base is so tall here is because there is a diffuser built into the base. That's what's doing the steam there. And so far it's been great. I think the steam has killed a couple of my LEDs, so I gotta swap those out. But yeah, it's been working great so far, and I think it really sells the image that there's lava down there.
Great use of minifig legs on the arch section.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Unfortunately, I found out that Lego does not really make parts hinge pieces in dark tan. You would think they did, but I combed around and couldn't find anything, at least nothing affordable, right? So yeah, minifig legs it was.
And then the statue itself is really impressive. What are some of the elements in there, and how did that come together for you?
Yeah, that was kind of the trickiest part of this build, right? Because I knew I had to like nail it. So I spent a lot of time on that one. One of my favorite kind of part usages in there is behind Willie, you can see in like the skirt part is some dark bluish gray fern pieces turned upside down to make that skirt. Yeah, and then just reference images and all that stuff really came in handy. Some old Indiana Jones skull parts. I think they're from Adventurers, but whatever.
And now we go to a different scene with Egyptian here. So what is this?
Yeah, so this is also from Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is the map room scene where Indy sneaks down and they figure out where the Ark is actually located. So this was the first Indiana Jones diorama I had done. and I'm pretty stoked on it. It's the first time I had ever used lighting, so that was kind of the motivator for this one. And then I also found a bunch of those printed adventurers pieces. You know, a couple bucks each was pretty pricey, but I think it does the job well. So yeah, that's the first one, and I'm actually still really happy with that one. So yeah.
Those printed elements are so cool. And then I also like the smaller cheese slopes and things you've done to give that wall kind of falling apart in the back.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It does look good. It takes forever to do, but yeah, it definitely does the trick.
Now, switching genres slightly, we've got The Last of Us down here, but still really incredible work on this. So tell us about this scene.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of it doesn't really fit into what I've got here, but I love The Last of Us, some of my favorite video games. It's a good show, I'd say, as well. On this one, kind of the motivator was I wanted to do a build that looked good from every angle, right? Because these ones are cool from here, but they look terrible on the back. So yeah, this one, I wanted to add some lights and just really kind of take a long time and really focus on the details. So that's what I did here. We got some lug bulk with lots of foliage elements, so I was able to use a bunch of those. But yeah, making stuff look like decrepit and old just takes a lot of parts and a lot of time, but it is a lot of fun. I'm really happy with the end result here.
Yeah. And what were some of the elements you used to give that sort of rundown effect? What pieces do you find work well for that?
Yeah, for sure. So in all of my builds, I find myself using a ton of masonry bricks and a lot of ingots for sure. So they're super helpful in all kinds of texturing. One thing with the walls is I try not to make anything a pattern, which sometimes means unbuilding things because I accidentally make patterns all the time, and then just throw in like, you know, rounded elements, so like 1x1 studs in there and just all kinds of stuff just to give it as much texture as possible.
And inside the house, you've got some nice furniture and kind of details built out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I haven't built much furniture, so this is kind of my first step into that world. Some of the stuff I stole from like the boutique hotel and then took it apart and rebuilt it to make it look like it's been sitting not used for years and years. And then, you know, there's a few things in there that I just whipped up, like the chest and stuff. Yeah, just using some old techniques with the jumpers on the front for drawers, stuff like that. So, yeah.
What'd you use for the minifigures?
Yeah, so these minifigures are from Citizen Brick. They're the best Last of Us figures I could find. I really like the style that Citizen Brick does their stuff in. Yeah, and it was a 3-pack, so you get the clicker. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on names now. Microphone adds pressure. Ellie and Joel, right? Okay. Yeah, it was a 3-pack for $60, which is a little steep, but for custom minifigs, it's not too bad. So, yeah, I was really happy with those. Those were really what inspired me to start building the mock. I ordered them, and then I was like, well, I gotta have somewhere to put them. So, yeah, I built this building here. Yeah.
All these scenes are incredible. So thank you for bringing these out to the show and just for all of your work here. Can't wait to see more of your work in the future. Do you post your stuff online if people want to see more?
Yeah, I do. So I post on Instagram and TikTok mostly, and then that is at Man Cave Bricks on there. So yeah, you can always check in for some updates on some builds I got going on.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.